You probably have previously seen the shape tools that allow you to draw different shapes. For example, a rectangle, a rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, and line. But now let's look at the tools that allow us to draw shapes in Photoshop in more detail. Now let's briefly look at the shape tools. So let's say, for example, I would like to draw a rectangle. So I can come here to the shape tools, I click and hold, and I choose rectangle tool. When I do that, then I will have access to the rectangle tools option over here on the option on the tools option panel. And as you can see, there are a number of different options. So first of all, if we click on this drop-down menu, we have three options: shape, path, and pixels. Now I leave it to you to go and research about the differences between these different options, but I suggest that you keep it on shape whenever you want to draw a shape. So for now, I leave it on shape. And then here we have other options. For example, you have the fill color, which is the color inside of the rectangle that you want to draw. Right now it's blue, so I leave it as blue. And then here we have the stroke color, which is the color of the stroke or the borders of the rectangle. So you can click here and you can choose any one of these colors. And also you can click over here and then pick a color that you want from the color picker. So let's say, for example, I go for something like a yellowish color. I choose this color, and now, as you can see, it is yellow. I could also select this option, which means that there will be no color for the stroke, and therefore we wouldn't see any borders for our rectangle. So for now, I just keep it on the yellow color. And now let's go and see what are the other options that we have here. So this option, this number here actually defines the thickness of the borders of this rectangle, or the thickness of the strokes. So you can either increase it or decrease this number. So for now, let us leave it as something around 20. And I go to my document and click, hold, and drag. And when I'm happy with my rectangle, I just release the mouse button. So as you can see, now I have this rectangle. The fill color is blue, and the border colors, or the stroke colors, color is yellow. But if you pay attention, you will see these blue handles at the corners of my rectangle. And that means that I should still confirm the creation of this rectangle. So to confirm this, what I need to do is to click on the Enter key on the keyboard. So when I do that, then as you can see, that border is gone. And I have actually confirmed the creation of this rectangle. Let's now create a circle. So to create a circle, what I should do is to go here and create a new layer. And then I go to the shape tool, I click and hold, and then choose the ellipse tool. So this time I would like to change the colors. So I go here, I would like to have no fill color. So I click on this button over here, no color. And then I just change the color of the stroke. So let's say this time I want the stroke color to be blue. And then let's this time change the size of the strokes as well. So this time I would like to have thicker strokes. So I'll bring this to maybe around 200. and then I click drag and release the mouse when I'm happy with the size of my circle. So as you can see, now I have created this circle. And again, if you want to confirm the creation of your shape, what you should do is to click the Enter key on the keyboard. So now I have created this circle as well. We can also draw a line with the Shape tool. So I can go to the Shape tool, click and hold, and then choose the Line tool, and then create a new layer. Choose the options in relation to the line that I would like to create. This time I would like to change the stroke color to red, and maybe I just reduce the size, the thickness of the stroke, and then I click and drag and I release, and I create this line here. To confirm the creation, I press the Enter key on the keyboard, and now I have my line here. It is possible to change the properties of the shapes even after you have created them. So let's say, for instance, I would like to change the properties of this circle here. So what I should do is to go and click on the circle layer, which is this one. And as you can see, as soon as I click on the related layer, the properties of that layer appears here on the properties panel. So if you don't see the properties panel, you can actually activate that from the window menu. So you need to go to the window menu and click on properties, and that will bring on the properties panel. So after I have chosen the ellipse layer, which is actually the layer that contains this circle, I will see the properties of that specific object. So as you can see, I can here have access to all these properties, and I can change them if I want. For example, I would like to change the color of the strokes. So I click here and change it, for example, to red. And I can also change the thickness of the strokes. So I just reduce that, for example, to this. And if you want, you can also change the type of the stroke. For example, make it like this or look like this. So it is possible to change the properties of the shapes even after you have created them. Now, if you look at the thumbnails of our shape layers, you will note that there is a small icon on the lower right side of the shape layers. This indicates that these are shape layers. And you should note that it is not possible to perform certain operations on shape layers. For example, if you select the eraser tool, as you can see, it is not possible to erase this circle, which is a shape object. So if you want to perform such operations, for example, erase this circle, what you should do is to rasterize this layer. In order to rasterize a shape layer, you can right-click over the shape layer and click on rasterize. But I advise you not to do this because if you do this, you will actually lose access to the properties of that specific shape. So if I click here and rasterize this layer, just look at what happens to the properties of this shape here. So I click here, and as you can see, the properties changes immediately. So I no longer actually can change the color of the stroke or the thickness of the stroke or change any other properties of this specific shape. And as you can see on the thumbnail, no longer that small icon exists. But I can now perform operations such as erasing this shape. So just have that in mind, that if you need to perform certain operations, you may need to rasterize a shape layer.